Alright, welcome back to another stream. Doing something a little bit different today. Checking out these challenges once again. I've already completed all of them, but I don't think I've done any on stream. So I'll be returning to these to do some speedrunning. This is a category on speedrun.com for Downpour. I don't know if challenge mode is part of Downpour or just remix mode, but anyway. This is quite different than the usual speedrun, since these challenges test not just movement, but, you know, like fighting creatures, evading creatures. Some of them are movement based. Some of them are like completely different goals entirely, so. I think to start off, actually, I can get rid of this, there we go. Get rid of those splits for now. So we will, I think I just want to like practice the challenges for a little bit. For now, I'm probably just going to check out. Okay, so the way that these are categorized is that each like 7 challenges is one speedrun. So there's a category for each like different group. So for mostly each character has their own group of challenges. So these ones are Survivor, these ones are Monk, Hunter, Gourmand, and so on. And these last spot on row is just like a variety of challenges that are usually a lot more difficult, and like varying characters, and like challenge 70, which actually I don't think is included on Speedrun.com, which is fair, honestly. So yeah, just hop into this. Hello, welcome to the stream. So I'm not going to be timing these, but I want to see if I can come up with like some decent strategies. Seems to work pretty well. This guy's still alive. Wow. Something that I like to do here is to drop one of these spears. That's not a spear. Drop a spear down there. Whoa. If you can get a head spear, green lizard dude. I think that's like by far the best way to do this. I'm not very consistent at it. So for the green lizard, I don't like to fight it with just one spear, so I'm gonna lure it down here. I'm sure they can see me. And then I can do this for the rest of it. So that works. Kind of slow. I think the best way to do this is if you can get a head spear on both lizards, but that's kind of difficult, and they tend to be kind of clumped together. Oops. Another thing that this stream is kind of about is figuring out what are some good like rules for challenge mode, because this is not a very commonly run category. Okay. I haven't seen any other runs of these challenges, so if I can figure out like some like rough guidelines on how these runs should go, that might encourage some other people to try out these speedruns too. Guy's coming down, hopefully. So I don't know how the timer is going to work, because at the end of after you beat a challenge, okay, this guy's just being slow. It shows you how long it took for you to beat it. So maybe you will have like in-game timer just be all of those times combined together, and then in-game time or real time will just be if you have splits, what that time will look like from the moment you start the first challenge to when you beat the last challenge. So this pink lizard usually takes 3 spears to kill. And you want the green lizard to just immediately come back down. But he likes to climb up here for some reason. You can actually tell when you've killed a creature if you accidentally pick it up and throw it. So you can only pick up dead creatures. At least. Like, I think Artificer can pick up creatures whenever. So this challenge is quite a bit different. We're focusing on getting food instead. The moment you get spotted by a lizard, they start chasing you down, so you kind of want to be stealthy for a while. Whoops. One little trick that you can do for these challenges is if you're holding enough food to beat the challenge, then enter a shelter. It'll still beat it, even though if you haven't eaten the food yet. So if you know how many points you need. Oh, wow. So right now, all I need to do is just get into the shelter. I did a wall bounce there. So you can leave 2 fruit behind, and that still beat the challenge. These are still somewhat RNG dependent based on where the creatures move to and if they spot you. Like this time, this blue lizard sees me right off the bat, so. This other lizard too. You don't have much time to eat. Another thing that I'm not sure of is if we need to do the challenges in order. I could not pick up that rock. So ideally you would want to do the challenges in descending difficulty. So get the hardest challenges out of the way first. Didn't get to eat that. Favorite lizard? I don't know. I like strawberry lizards because they're probably one of the most unique new creatures. Okay, I don't like this. Oh, actually, I have enough points. If I climbed up that ledge, I would have been fine. So I think this is roughly the route. Ideally, you don't get spotted by that first blue lizard on the left side. You can do that. I don't know if it's better to try to hold 1 fruit at a time. One or 2 fruit, because if you have 2 of them, you can't hold them onto a rock. This is a predicament. There's this blue lizard camping right here. I think I just need 1 more. Yeah. That's decent. So for now, I'm just going through each of the challenges to kind of get a feel for what it's like to try to do it quickly. So for this one, you just need to kill the scavenger and the pink lizard. It was a lot easier there because of the explosive sphere, but that's not guaranteed. That's a pretty easy way to kill the first scavenger. So it seems like actually you only need 2 scavengers, because the shelter opened up after the. Whoops. I do wish there was a better way to like start playing a challenge. No, 2 scavengers is not enough. Three is though. So I think trying to go for the pink lizard is the easiest. It's either 1 scavenger and the pink lizard, or 2 more scavengers. This one's always very easy to get. I could just like get 1 scavenger on that side and another on the other side, but it's not very consistent whether you kill them in 1 spear throw. Yeah, I tried to go for the head spear. I still don't know how to do it consistently. You have to crouch and throw a spear at the same time, but I don't know what the timing is. It's not even dead yet. That's 2 spear throws. I always get it more consistently with a slide. It's not dead. Okay, he was. It just took a while. I like Scion lizards. I just think they're a little too excessive. Some rooms have like 4 or 5 Scions in them, and they just become a pain to navigate through unless you have a mask. So this is an interesting challenge. Kind of RNG dependent, like where the centipedes move. And if they decide to grab onto you like that. I think this is a good way to start. You get those 2 there, which are usually the centipedes like to clump up around there in the middle. Whoops. And that's just instant death. Could try going over here. Because from here I can grab this one, the slime mold, and die instantly. So staying at an entrance of a tunnel or a pipe is really bad. Really dangerous because a centipede can instantly kill you the moment you. There's never enough. I think there's a lot of situations where there's enough. So now I need to go around to the other side. Luckily there's this pipe right here. And I'm missing 1. I see where it is now. Am I dead? Not quite. Thing is that it's actually very hard to get back to the start. There we go, that works out. I'm a centipede fan. Challenges like this kind of show off that they're good ways to deal with them. They really just launched the slime mold up there. And of course, when I get through, the other centipede comes in. So I knew that I could do that because you can land on their bodies and they don't even know that you're there. Only if you touch their feelers, the ends of their body. That's the only time they can actually detect you, or if you like make a sound. Where's this last one? I'm missing one and I don't have any clue where it is. Every rain roll enjoyer has an unpopular creature opinion. Probably. I just don't see where this last one is. Sometimes food can get kind of stuck in can like get stuck inside of a tunnel in the very entrance. It's hard to notice where they are. So I'm gonna head up here now. That's an interesting theory. Luckily, this being at the very entrance makes this a lot easier. So now it's just about getting out. But there's not really a good way to get out of, get like back into the to the start. Probably the best way right now is, but you can't really climb up that. You can go through this tunnel. Of course, there has to be a centipede on the other side of it. Let's just bring a centipede to the end. I'm not sure if I don't have any commands, but I do appreciate the lurk. That's a good opportunity to get these ones at the bottom. Those ones can be pretty tough if there's centipedes in the way. I only see one left. Good song playing. That's me, our arena mode is how you get to listen to a bunch of good music. Oh. Go back into the pipe. They're blocking all the good places to leave. Oh, I was just... right there. This might be pretty tough for actual runs, because it's kind of RNG where the centipedes decide to go. You can always try to adapt. This one's going pretty well. But for this run, they're really blocking the exit. Didn't want to go in that. It's pretty rough. You're pretty much always going to be pushed through a tunnel once you get grabbed by a centipede. Oh, they pushed that slime mold all the way to the top of that. So like at this point, what do I do from here? I guess that's pretty good. As long as there aren't any centipedes directly camping these, you're fine. That's good for this challenge. So this one's kind of funny. The best strategy here, I think, is just to try to kill the squid gator. So just by pushing them off after hitting them with a rock. Oh, that one didn't fall down all the way. It's probably better to go down into these lower levels. If you hit them too hard, they will just land on one of these platforms and not fall all the way down. Of course, an alternate strategy is to eat the bats. I don't know if it's ever worth it to do that, or you can do that. That's another strategy. Or running away as fast and quietly as possible. Do I have a Discord server? No, I do not. And I don't know if I want to make one. So I guess this is kind of good luck, where all the squid gatas kind of clump up. But then you run out of rocks. I think that you need to kill pretty much every squid gator here. See, I don't even have enough point. Well, they didn't actually fall down all the way. That can happen. Well, actually, yeah. Just having a bat here gives me enough points. But you don't want to end the challenge too low down, because then you have to climb all the way back up. So maybe a good strategy is to try to go down and then climb your way up while hitting squid gator. Am I on YouTube? I am. That's who I'm talking to, by the way. I'm streaming on Twitch and YouTube at the same time. Actually, it might help to throw upwards once I catch a squid gator, instead of throwing it to the side where it might fall down or fall onto another platform. That was really clean. So that's probably the best one these runs can get. Oh, this one's interesting. So you need to get all of the bubble fruit, but there's a bunch of leeches and snails, so you can use the snails to stun the leeches. Although they can also stun you, so it slows you down a little bit. Well, they both want to just fall down. But the leeches get stunned for a lot longer than you do, so you get some time to actually eat them. Or you can get grabbed. There are a lot of people on Twitch now. There's usually a lot more people on YouTube. Actually, a good strategy. Here, I've got a plan this time. Let's throw this in. And then swim across while throwing all the bubble fruit to one side. So that way, I can just sit over here and eat them. And I'm still getting leeched. Nice to hear all of them popping from the very start. Maybe I'll eat a few of them from the very start, like this. Because because there's not actually that many leeches over here, so that way they don't pile up too much. Somehow I still can't swim with a single leech on me. It's kind of hard to jump into the water without falling all the way down. It's also kind of hard to get into this tunnel. Hello, welcome to the stream. I'm currently just going through each of the challenges on their own to kind of get some practice in. Figure out what strategies I'm going to be using for a run of all the challenges. And for now, a speedrun means completing a group of 7 challenges based on the characters. So there's 7 challenges where you play as the survivor and 7 challenges where you play as the monk and so on. So I'm practicing the first 7 challenges. Looks like you can leave 1 bubble fruit behind. Okay, well, I don't know if there's a good strategy. As long as you have a snail next to you, you can be safe from the leeches. So challenge 7 might be the hardest one. I got very lucky in one of my practice runs of this where the blue lizards fought each other and knocked each other off the cliff, so I only have to deal with the white lizard. Well, you can see that the white lizard just fell down on its own. So if that happens, you have a much easier run. And if these blue lizards fight each other, I think one of them fell down at least. But honestly, the hardest part of this challenge is that the bat flies like to fly off screen, like they're doing right now. I can't look at the map, but they're just over there, and I can't reach them. I should also keep track of how many points I need so that I can not waste time eating the last few. So you only need 7, so I can get 5 points and then hold on to the last 2 bat flies. So I think a good strategy here is to immediately jump down into this lower platform, because you can grab 2 of them like that. As long as you're in a pipe, you're pretty safe, because you can go back and forth like that. So I need, oh, I was right next to one. So I just need to find 1 more bat fly. Did that just, no, they're attacking me. That was pretty clean. Alright, I think it's maybe it's a good time to try out some full runs. So the speed run involves these challenges. There's a different category for each group of runs. So monk runs, hunter, gourmand. I think I want to focus on these top challenges up to 14. So I'll do a run of all these and then all of these. And if we have time, I'll do some hunter ones too. So I'll bring the splits up. Here you go. So I don't know how these are going to be timed. It kind of depends on, no one else has done challenge runs, so there's not very defined rules, but I'm just going to say that once you click play on this is when the timer starts, and then once you enter the shelter on this challenge is when it ends. Which does mean that menuing does get added to the time. That's annoying. First one's dead. That's annoying. I really missed both of those spears, huh? Okay, messed up the slide there. There's the first challenge done. Pioneer, I suppose. So I'd like to pick up this rock here because I can knock that lizard down there. Wow, that was like frame perfect death. I threw the rock and then immediately got bit by the lizard. At pretty much the same time. Oh, I would have liked to grab that that fruit. So also, I don't know how I'm going to deal with restarts for now. I like to just complete a full run and then do another attempt to try to do it without any deaths, but that's actually ends up being very hard for some of the later challenges. Movement does help a lot. So I'll head up here. As long as they all go down, I'm good. Whoops. Okay, just make it to the shelter. I'm going to split once I enter a shelter. Challenge usually isn't that bad. Sometimes that scavenger kind of step back a bit and it makes it harder to land on them to grab the spear. Oh, really? I'm so used to playing as characters that insta-kill scavengers, but not as survivor, it's just RNG. Oh, nice. Actually, I realize now that I can't actually use, we can't rely on... Oh, that's great. We can't rely on just the time it takes to beat the challenges in-game, because that wouldn't count deaths. So we're probably going to rely on mostly in-game, or the real-time. I always mix those up. We're mostly going to rely on real-time. But that also kind of includes menuing, which can be annoying sometimes. So you can't pounce while eating food. I don't like this situation. So there's a lot of kind of adapting to just whatever happens. You can't just reset until you get a good strategy because you have to complete the first few challenges before this one. I think this is the last one after the one up there. Of course, the centipede has to show up now. Yep. So just needs to make it to the end. Of course, this centipede needs to make its way over here. So new strategy. This looks so possible to just jump up there. There we go. Least favorite lizard? Well, I've said this before a few times, but I don't like that orange lizards are so common. And specifically in later campaigns. Like Rivulet and Saint, there's just so many orange lizards that it's no longer feel special. Because they used to be like the rare and unique type of lizard. But now they're kind of like the one that's way too common. enough points? I should really keep track better. Okay, that's definitely enough points. There we go. Like, there's a big difference between a creature just on its own and how the creature is actually implemented in the campaigns. So sometimes you can get kind of lucky here, and the snail will just kind of drop in. But you can't rely on that. So you usually need to go up. Also, it's really hard to eat food in water. It's possible, but it's usually bobbing up too much. And it pushes you around so that you can't eat. You can only eat food when you're standing perfectly still. Oh, a lot of those leeches didn't actually get stunned. That makes this more difficult. Also, I don't even see where the snails are. They might just be on the left side. Oh yeah, white lizards are really annoying. Like, honestly, you can learn to like notice them easier, even when they're invisible, or when they're trying to blend in. Snail? I might just drown anyway. Oh no, but it was kind of close. But white lizards tend to camp in some of the worst spots. I'm going to try to just quickly make it over to their side. Hopefully I don't get grabbed. There we go. That's pretty good luck, I would say. But what isn't good luck is the bats all camping on one side of the room. I really couldn't climb over that. Yeah, this challenge is really, really annoying when the bat flies just go in the wrong spots. I got one. Luckily, you only need like seven bat flies. Still kind of rough. I think actually a better strategy here would be to just try to go from above. So if you chase them from the side, then they're much more likely to. Wow, that was a determined lizard. No cost too great. Then they're just gonna run away, and you have no chance of catching them. But if you just drop from above, then they don't have time to move out of the way. I don't like being in this spot, I'll be honest. The problem is that going from above tends to be where the lizards are. Oh, come on. If I just started that pounce a little bit earlier. You can see why you'd actually want to do the challenges in a different order. If you could do this challenge first, it'd make the rest of the challenges, or it'd make the whole speedrun a lot easier, since you get the hardest one out of the way first. And you can actually just, because every time I die here, I'm losing time. If it's at the start of the run, then I would just reset the timer. So I don't know if that's going to be allowed. Honestly, I would prefer if that was the case, if you could choose which order you want to do them in. And of course, I could probably do that. Like, I don't know if there's like rules for that specifically, because no one else has done runs. And I'm sure that if I decide that it was a rule, then other people would probably follow. Or that you could choose to do them in whatever order that you want. So then there's a little bit of strategizing of like which ones do you do first and like what order. Oh really? That one got by? Okay, 10 minutes. Not great. We'll do a run of that. Oh yeah, it does kind of bother me that they do replace some of the more common lizard types, like green lizards. Green, pink, and blue lizards are pretty much completely replaced by in the later timelines. I suppose it makes sense. How you can kind of feel the way the environment changes over time. You know, there's different creatures in different parts of the timeline, but it also means that I'd probably like it more if there were more unique lizards to replace them. Like a strawberry lizards are probably the best example, but that's like the main difference. Because it's all like orange lizards after that, in the Saints campaign at least. Oh yeah, I kind of looked at some of the expedition speedruns, but perks are allowed, which kind of bothers me because it means that every character is pretty much just Riv Artificer, yeah. It means that all the different characters become kind of the same once you have a bunch of perks. Anyway, let's do another run. I think I'd like to do them in order of difficulty, so I will do this one first, then this one, then this. So 7 2 4 7 2 3 4 1 5 6. And if I die here, I will just reset the timer. Oh, that was a little bit of a strat. I grabbed an extra bat flies, so it was already dead, and I kind of got three in one. That's a white lizard. That almost got me. The annoying part now is that all the bat flies are far away. So the splits aren't going to be accurate since I'm not doing the same runs in the same order. So you can really make use of rocks here to give yourself a lot of extra time. Oh, I thought I had an extra hand open. Oh, really? It's lagging. It is. Is it back? It looks better now. Okay, hopefully it's working. It actually doesn't say that it dropped any frames. I'm gonna restart the run. I'd rather it not lag halfway through. But hopefully looks like it's back up now. It's good. Alright. I'll just restart, but yeah, do let me know if it starts lagging. Oh, that sucks. Honestly, I feel like if you don't... Oh, I probably should just start from here. If you don't get bat flies immediately, you should probably just restart. That sucks too. Probably want to head up here next. Oh, really? I dropped down there and all the bat flies were already out of the way. One grass skip where you extended slide through it? That sounds interesting. I know that most of the time you can move fast enough to get past worm grass fairly consistently, but not usually the big groups of it. So you're probably talking about something specific that I'm not aware of. Also, I'd like everyone to know that this is why we prefer karma caching. A lot of times the only food we have access to is bat flies, and this is what it's like trying to catch them. Maybe I'm just something about the AI that I'm not just understanding, but that was me just standing there. It feels like sometimes they just see you and they run away immediately, and sometimes they just don't see you and you can grab them really easily. I feel like I could have grabbed them there if I also suck at climbing up ledges for some reason. You can also see why I want to start with this challenge. But I don't think there's a better way to do this. Well, actually, the bat flies like already started moving out of the way. I don't know if I should restart. If that does the same thing as just clicking play there. Rather to keep the timing consistent. Here's an idea. Let's not eat bat flies. Just grab them to kill them. And eat them when I get there later. Yeah, you guys want to come over here? Oh, one of them showed up. I could have got it for a second there. Okay, that kind of just felt lucky. The lizards just didn't really get in the way. I'm actually going to go around here. Okay, that didn't really work out because I tried to just avoid the lizards entirely so that there was longer, I had longer to. Oh wow. Okay, that was pretty good. Yeah, flying centipedes will be completely passive to you for like 7 seconds. That was really lucky. That was really not lucky. I like that they had a explosive spear. You're not dead. Oops. This guy's just really... That's a really skilled scavenger. Has good stats. It's dodging everything. It just hit itself with a rock. Okay, that was pretty slow, but I guess it's better than dying. They really dropped in there. I don't like this. I might be dead. I'm pretty sure that's the last one, other than this one up here. I risked it. I risked it. I thought I would be able to slide through, but they noticed me first. I don't like that guy. I don't like this guy. Oh, I missed this one up here. I guess it's kind of hard to grab something when you're being grabbed by a large centipede. I don't like that this guy is here. Risking it again. Okay, that was good. I mean, other than the death. So this one next, right? Ah. I like that the pink lizard is still alive. It shouldn't be now. Yeah, I did really want to throw another one at the pink lizard. That's already dead. So I think it usually helps to throw way more spears than you need to, because even if you do deal enough damage to kill them, sometimes it still takes a while. So I believe it's just this one and then the bubble fruit one. Like them to go over here. That happened for both of them. How do I deal with this one? Like that? Could've just grabbed a bat fly anyway. You can die to a centipede if it grabs you and runs back to its den. But it's pretty hard to get that to happen since they only run away if you've done enough damage to them, so they're probably not aggressive anymore. I can't even jump high enough to reach that. Let's try this strategy again. I guess the snail kind of helps out. Song that plays when you enter pipe yard. So I'm going to grab this snail. I really did. Alright. That was much better than last time. It does make it significantly easier to do them in a specific order. And it's probably not intended. There's probably just code that says, like, if a creature drags you into your den, you die. And that automatically helps, or that automatically deals with pole plants and kelp. So they grab you and pull you back into their den, so it kills you. So if any other creature just happens to do that as well, then it also kills you. Regardless if it's meant to. So centipedes are able to grab you, and they can drag you through tunnels. That's just kind of how it always works. If you're grabbing onto a creature, if either of you go into a pipe, then you both go through, right? So if you're grabbing onto a creature, and it actually happens sometimes where you're carrying something, you try to go down a tunnel, but the creature that you're holding onto ends up going down a pipe. You end up both going through the pipe. So that also happens if a creature intentionally grabs you. And if that pipe that it goes into happens to be its den, then you just die. So, how much time we got left? We have plenty of time, honestly. I might do a few more runs of this. I guess I'm going to be trying them in that order. That's pretty... I mean, just being able to start with this challenge helps a lot. But I don't know if there will be... Well, there's not really any rules, right? I already kind of mentioned this. There's... Actually, I can look... So the rules are complete the challenges as fast as possible in real time. That's fair. In-game timer is not required. Same remix options. So I agree with real time. It kind of makes it annoying that you have to menu quickly. It's not really a fast way to do it. Because you either use your cursor to do it like this, but then you can't get to the play button quickly. Thanks for watching. Thanks for coming by for a bit. So I think personally you should be able to pick which order to do them in, as long as you eventually complete all the challenges. Because even when you're playing, even if you haven't unlocked, if you haven't done the challenges, if it's your first time doing them, then all of them are unlocked from the start, right? It's not like you have to play them in an order to unlock them. Except for these last ones, sort of. But since they're all unlocked from the start, you should be able to do them in any order, I think. And since I haven't seen anyone else do speedruns of these, I'm just going to do it like this. And if other speedrunners agree that that should be the rule, then that's how it would be. Because especially some of these later challenges, like, where is it? This challenge. This one's really tough. Actually, all of these ones are really difficult. Like this one you can get really consistent at. Because it's just movement. If you learn how to do this, you can do it pretty much first try every time. And same with this one. So if you could do these ones last and start with the hardest ones like this one, then these last difficult challenges would be significantly more reasonable to actually do speedrun attempts of. I mean, this one's the first challenge anyway, but having to do this one last would be really tough. And I'm sure that there's other examples out here, but that's just my take. I'm gonna do another run, but this time with better split stick compare against. Quite like time zones, you guys. Yeah, I mean, I tried to pick a time to stream that would fit the most people's time zone as possible. But I guess there's still plenty of viewers who have completely different time zones. Because it's actually somewhat early, kind of the middle of the day for me. So there's a bunch of bat flies all grouped up over there. Actually, this one's the last one I need. I think that was a little bit slower. Get this one next. guess if enough people want, I could try to stream earlier. Although I'd have to change around my schedule quite a bit to fit it. Just grab onto the fruit. Oh goodness. I don't even know what happened there. It does give me a little bit of time to grab some of the fruit. Over here, I didn't fall down. I'm probably gonna try to get these first 2 challenges done without any deaths or major mistakes. Just went right past that lizard. Okay. If you go in, there's some areas that are kind of dead ends that you shouldn't go to. I have nowhere to run away. That's really annoying. These bat flies. Seem to be clipping up on the other side of the arena this time. Doesn't usually happen like that. I actually see a ton of bat flies right there next to that blue lizard. Oh, I took all of them. Unfortunately, a lot of them got away. I think I only need 2 more probably. That's annoying. I see one that I could possibly get. But there's no... That's not great. I'm just gonna restart. I'm happy with this. My favorite part about orange lizards is when you enter a room full of them, and when they first notice you, how every single orange lizard has a reaction. And you just kind of hear this chain reaction of all the orange lizards noticing you. This is very slow. I guess since this is the first one that I'm doing, the first challenge, I can kind of afford to be a bit slow. Not like that. Like molecules? Sure. Okay, that's unfortunate. I have a habit of just restarting instantly, but I should be exiting out like that. It is faster to restart like that in every single other challenge. That's how you should learn fast pole climbing. You can actually get out of situations like that. Go through. I don't like that there's a white lizard right where I usually go to den. Gonna be able to grab this bat. No. I also really like the new sound effect for the orange lizards. It's very fitting. That's probably one of the better things in Downpour. I think it's actually just remix mode. It's not even exclusive to Downpour. Why does this blue lizard always like to camp out right here? Hey, that's probably where they start. He took my bat fly. If there was just like a single rock in this whole level, it'd be significant. It'd make this whole thing significantly easier because you could just kill a blue lizard. But that's not the point. this challenge. I still need to eat one more. Why did I roll? Okay, that roll ended the... I mean, that's not like when it was going great anyway, but... Those are usually the ones that I go for. But also, I've heard mixed reactions to remix settings because they kind of like hold your hand a little bit. You know, they one video I think explained it pretty well. That like improving in Rain World is based on your knowledge of the game. So giving the player a bunch of tips and advice is kind of like starting the player with like equipment, if you were to equate this to like an RPG. Since improving or like progression in Rain World is based on knowledge, then giving the player knowledge in the form of like the in-game tips and stuff like that. It's kind of like starting the player off with higher level gear in an RPG. And it gets rid of the actual experience of learning stuff and figuring it all out. And I don't know how to feel because, you know, it improves accessibility, but does Rain World need to be inaccessible to be a good experience? Because part of what makes Rain World special is having to learn everything and figure things out. So making it more accessible technically also makes it worse of an experience like that. I appreciate it if these two losers just kept fighting each other. So actually I think this is... Where did all the lizards go? Actually got too many. There's one. So I'm gonna... Nice, that's just about as well as that challenge can go. So like the remix option because it distorts the intended. Yeah. That's basically what I was talking about. I mean, that's clearly one of the goals that the Downpour developers had, to make the game more accessible, which, you know, it sounds important, but, you know, maybe if that takes away from the experience, then, you know, I kind of don't know how to feel about that. It's like the Dark Souls easy mode thing all over again. Oh wow, that went very well. This one next. I don't like that. Okay, I didn't mean to throw something at that green lizard, but it actually worked out. And it didn't. I somehow hit one of their masks. Masks? Skull? Like, what do you call the lizard's armor? Thanks for not turning around. For some reason, this is a particularly passive green lizard. You wouldn't think that the lizards in the challenge where you have to kill them would be passive, but that's just how this one is. Maybe I should do this challenge earlier. I kind of did that slow. And I really like how there's a lag spike every time a new song starts playing. For whatever reason, I'm not very good at the mouse stab. I've done it before. I've even practiced it on red lizards, but it's just not consistent. I think I haven't been able to do it consistently. This challenge can be optimized so much. Oh. Oh, actually, I guess that works out too. They can fall all the way down that tunnel. Actually, I don't think they died. They might have just come up just now. You have to throw them off fairly quickly after stunning them with a rock. And even, I'm throwing a lot of them onto platforms. This isn't great. Maybe I should just eat some bat flies. Oh, really? Oh wait, yeah, this is enough. I can leave now. A little bit too close to them for mouth spearing. That's the thing. It's kind of dependent on your position, right? If you don't have much space, it's just harder to do. And I think it also depends on if their mouth is open or not. If their mouth is closed, it's just impossible. I don't like this leech. Head over to the other side. I didn't mean to throw that over there. I guess that's the strategy now. This is a nice song. Look at that, you don't even need to eat this many. That actually worked out though. Okay, that was a little bit faster. Yeah, you have to be, the spear has to be moving down. Actually, just test this out a bit right here. That didn't work. There we go. So that's what I would do ideally for both of the lizards here. He dodged it. And that worked out there. And I actually hit the pink lizard's head through the green lizard. Maybe I'm throwing it too early. Did I actually hit them again like that? I think that should have worked, right? Okay, I think that might be too close. If it hits them the first frame that you throw it, maybe it doesn't work. Oh, really? They're just pushing each other. Maybe there's a bit of timing to it, sometimes they close their mouse at the wrong time. I don't like this. That worked out? I got it twice in a row there. But I don't really feel like I'm doing anything different. Wow, betrayal. As if they were working together in the first place. Thanks for stopping by. It's just way easier to do the slide. I get it more consistently at least. But it's also a lot more space dependent if you have the room to do a slide. I don't think it's possible when you're right up next to them. I could try doing that. But it didn't even lock them in one position. Okay, I think I'm going to try out the next set of challenges now. Get rid of splits for now. So I don't think it's been a while since I've played the monk challenges. They're usually a lot less combat oriented. Oh wow, monk sucks. So this one is to tame a... Oh, I didn't even kill them in one hit. Wow. This one is to tame a lizard. Looks like it would be this blue one. Unless they're distracted by a squid data. That didn't even count. That really didn't work. That didn't count. Guys, just eat that right there. That didn't even count. So you scare people? It was kind of scary. Yeah, I think it works. Oh wow. They really got sent flying. Excuse me. Ridiculous idea. There we go. That's kind of ideal if the blue lizard just comes up like that. I know that if you're fighting a red lizard and you mouse spirit twice in a row, you can't do it a third time, I believe. And I thought that's because they would close their mouth after 2 hits, but I guess you can check. I mean, I'm in Sandbox right now. Also, everyone who talks about me missing unlocks, these are all the unlocks that I have on my main save file. So let's give myself some spears, slug cat, and green lizard. Unless, you know, maybe red lizards are unique. 1, 2. See, it doesn't work on the third one unless I mess it up. I'll test that a few more times. Green lizard moment. 1, 2, stuck. Okay, I want to not get stuck there. Yep, good, great place to do a charge. What is up with this guy? Okay, I couldn't get it a single time there. Hold up. Let's just make this easier. I don't even think I did a slide correctly there. Yeah, it feels like on the third hit it doesn't work. Anyway, let's continue with this. So this is a funny challenge. You're intended to get that vulture grow up there. Just spawn a vulture, but I think it'd be super possible just to do this normally. Especially since those scavengers aren't immediately too aggressive. What are they doing? Also, who knows where the last scavenger went? There it is. Problem though is that monk does no damage at all. So you need to hit them with 2 spears. You aren't even carrying any spears. He was so shook when I threw that spear. That was a headshot. So I feel like the fastest way to do this is definitely just to go down and fight them, but that's also the significantly more risky one. So this is probably one of the challenges I'll start with. Lag. That's a lot of dropped frames that I didn't even notice, so hopefully the stream's actually been watchable. So it depends on how open their mouth is. That's interesting. It's not just like it's either open or not. So I guess I mean, I have been kind of paying attention to that, but I'm never confident if it was like a significant factor. Yeah, I don't know if this strategy is a good idea. It's a lot easier if you can isolate them, but that just depends on how they decide to move around. I don't want to hold this. No, they have an explosive spear. Doesn't make a difference. It's an insta kill anyway. The Social Spear actually does make a big difference for me because it can actually insta-kill guaranteed. Right, that is an explosion, so there's AoE. Okay, I think the strategy here is just to do the challenge early and get lucky with your combat. Let me do the backflip spear. I mean, not really in combat. It's too risky. I should probably. So this one's quite interesting. The funny thing is that this lizard is already pretty passive. Just kind of how the there you go. That's how you beat this challenge. I feel like that actually worked pretty well. The lizard didn't even notice the vulture, so it wasn't hard for them to grab. So it's funny that you don't even need to worry about the lizard being a problem. Hopefully the vulture notices this lizard, because I'd rather not grab this. Yeah, I feel like this isn't actually that hard of a challenge. Maybe a bit of RNG of like what the vulture decides to do and where the lizard is, but it doesn't seem that bad. This is quite an interesting challenge because it's in the dark, but I know where everything is. Head down here. Kill a lantern. Head up here. Hey man, it'd be very easy if you just ate that. Bro. There we go. Oh, that didn't even tame it. That's the goal, right? Befriend a creature. Oh, that might be a little bit of RNG, because I think it's possible to tame them instantly. See, now the shelter's open, so it's a little bit random. Also, I'm gonna need to memorize the layout of this this room. Oh, nice backflip. Sure, they can climb up on this, right? Okay. Actually, this probably easier to just do that, yeah. So there's a little bit of RNG here. Sometimes you don't tame them instantly, so that might be a little bit annoying. I'll try again. This time I know a little bit more about the layout. Okay, I guess if they're totally capable of hunting by themselves, then why they need me to get food for them? Oh, that's annoying actually. When they're up there like that. You're eating a tomato, congratulations. Oh great, he got food on his own. Just eat that. That didn't even count as taming. The problem with these lanterns is if they're hanging from the ceiling like this, then they're really hard to move around. Yeah, just eat this guy on the swing. There we go. Okay, this one's also kind of rough, just depending on where the lampsters are, where the white lizards are. Move on to the next one. Okay, so this one's quite interesting. Funny thing is that you have a spear. You can technically just fight the vultures if you want. They give quite a lot of points, but obviously the way that you're supposed to do this challenge is with one of these spears, hitting that. That actually makes this significantly easier, because now that vulture has left. Well, now there's this vulture. Looks like it didn't run away completely. They're both here again. The best way to avoid these, I think, is to go through this tunnel in the middle. You can go up and down quite quickly and they won't be able to follow you. They have to go all the way around this block to keep chasing you. And ideally they're also distracted by the jetfish. Should you sneak in a bite there? Yo, vulture tech. Okay, that's actually not that bad. I mean, that might have been pretty lucky, but I feel like I could consistently avoid the vultures. So I think for this one, I think it's going to be a strategy to bring a vulture, don't bring another vulture. There's already enough of them, but bring a spear and just stab a vulture if it gets close, so that it runs away, and then you have an easier time getting the popcorn. It's probably because it's in arena mode that the vulture didn't run away completely. They like keep aggro on you in arena, but you can see that it did help to injure them. Okay, this is quite an interesting challenge. Your goal is to eat all the food. Gourmand simulator. But you have a time limit. I think the strategy here is to use these jellyfish, actually. They deal damage, so you can use them as weapons to kill some of the creatures that you can't eat normally. Where'd that bubble fruit go? Did I already eat it? There it is. It's hiding down there. So there we go. You can kill the jetfish like that. Or not the jetfish, the egg bug. Gourmand backstory. Probably should have thrown this this challenge is gonna be interesting. I feel like it'd be super consistent, but we'll have to like learn a specific strategy. So I want to throw all the bubble fruit over here. There's one over here. So for whatever reason, the bubble fruit dropped really far down there. Some of the bubble fruit that I missed. How many points are we at? 20, we need 24. I'm missing something. I can't eat this. There's just this left. I don't know why I threw it. You can drown the... That's not enough food though. I don't think there's any way to kill the vulture. What am I missing here? Oh, I see it. There's just an egg bug. So, a few changes to the strategy. I want to get all the bubble fruit first, so that, because I spent a lot of time grabbing them when I didn't really need to. I should throw them all over there first. That really hit the, can't see anything. Probably shouldn't throw this guy first, because I would like to actually see what I'm doing. There's the bubble fruit, that's what I was trying to grab. So I'm just gonna grab, or just throw this guy down here. I'd like to drop that. So now we go down here, we eat everything. That does kill the vulture grub. This guy might be a bit annoying to catch consistently. Blows up tomatoes with mine. Oh, there's another one right here. This was the one that bounced off of the blue fruit in quotation marks. So what's the next thing that's annoying here? What am I doing? Hello? Didn't die. Just does a random amount of damage. Just grab these last two and don't have enough food to win. Why is that? I'm missing something again. It's another bubble fruit right here, of course. So this challenge is actually quite tough because you have to find every single little piece of food. They can kind of get obscured in tunnels or behind the foreground stuff. He tamed all the lizards. So I think if I'm given an opportunity, I will eat the noodles. Also, I'm going to throw this guy here so that they don't get in the way. rare use of whiplash. So this strategy here kind of just throws everything into this water, which is nice for the bubble fruit, but it's also kind of annoying that you have to fish everything out of the water to eat it. Okay, that's annoying. It's just when their own defense system kills them. That doesn't really make sense. I don't know what that... Okay, I shouldn't have gone in there. Apparently that's actually a strategy for the inverted campaign. To just get really high lizard reps so that you don't have to worry about lizards getting in the way for the rest of the run. Because it takes like a few hours usually. Okay, that makes this easier. This is all the remaining food. It is. That's probably the first like actually clean run I've gotten. So I think that's a good strategy. Get all the bubble fruit first into the water. Grab the noodles when they come by, and you know, just get the. I mean, maybe if the egg bug shows up, in a good opportunity to get it. Oh yeah, I think that's definitely the case for hazers. You can explain a lot of things by saying that they were purposed organisms. There's a mod that just makes every creature peaceful. That's also kind of what it's like to play monk. But I've recently been playing with a mod that just removes creatures entirely, and it makes speedrun practice a lot easier. Obviously it's not great for just like casual play, the creatures are important, but when you just want to practice movement, it's really nice to not have to worry about them getting in the way. Did I just skip this challenge? So what's the goal here? 5 points. Grab the bubble fruit, dude. Okay. So the kelp should want to grab the bubble fruit. Cat mod. Well, there's another mod that the Outsider that kind of has a similar mechanic. It's not quite as overpowered since you can't fly infinitely, but it's pretty good. Oh, grab a bubble fruit. Common monk L. I'm sure that the intended strategy for this is to make the monster kelp grab a bubble fruit, and that distracts them for a pretty long time. But for whatever reason, they're just not interested. I guess they can't hear it, right? There we go. That's not very long. That's not enough time. Oh yeah, that was another mod that had like variations based on the characters, because that's before Downpour popularized, you know, unique characters. It's actually the new strategy. Let's go over here. Just grab a whole bunch of these. I meant to drop this down. He's gonna take all of it before I have a chance to eat anything. We'd have to come up with a better strategy for this, I feel. Monk players, and there's an actual challenge. Okay. Whoa. Do not want to fall down there. Alright, so here's the strategy that I've just come up with right now. Now I drop all these down there. And the monster kelp does not grab them for whatever reason. There we go. And I get grabbed anyway. So you gotta see what I'm going for there. I'm trying to just throw all of them over to the side, but I feel like that just doesn't work out. Yeah, I actually like Monk's campaign. People like to make fun of Monk for being weak and boring, but I feel like it's actually the most realistic experience. I kind of agree with that. Because even as Survivor, there's situations where it's like, does there really need to be this many creatures in this area? Should there really be like 4 white lizards in one room? Oh, wow. They don't really stay down for that long. I don't really feel like this is a good strategy. It just takes way too long to set it up. I could like go over there and put all the fruit there and then go all the way over here. So now how do I get the kelp to actually grab those? What do scabs eat? That's what we're all wondering, right? Okay, so that worked. This is enough food. Unless this steals one of them. That works out, but it doesn't feel consistent. Scavengers probably have a very similar diet to slug cats. Same kind of food that we eat. The blue fruit, slime mold, jellyfish. What else is there? Hunter was supposed to be the intended experience. I don't know about that. I'm not really a fan of the fact that Downpour thinks of Hunter as the default difficulty. And how a lot of the new slug cats are kind of based on that. Like Artificer and Spearmaster spawns are very similar to Hunter, and I suppose, yeah, it makes sense because of the timeline. but it means that you're dealing with a lot of very difficult creatures. Gourmand has hunter unique creatures like red centipede, king vulture. How do you get the kelp to grab the fruit instead of you? That's what I'm not sure about. This strategy would work and be consistent if I could get the kelp to consistently just eat the fruit. So I know that if I I guess that worked. So that's not what I was trying to do. If you're like standing on this platform with a bubble fruit and you throw one over, then that would work. I could try just throwing it as a weapon. That doesn't give me too much time. I'm trying to throw them as quickly as possible, but they have quite a large collision, so they tend to push each other out of the way. I end up needing to move around too much to grab all the bubble fruit. But I can try just dropping down and throwing one of them as a rock. Honestly, my opinion of Gourmand changed around so much. At first, I thought that they'd be annoying because of the low stamina, and then I thought that they'd be cool because of all their new combat abilities, and then I actually played them, and the stamina was annoying. So do all of that. That just seems to give me enough time. If I throw one of them. No, actually, here's the strategy. I will grab this one. Don't do that. Grab this one. This will be my last practice run of this challenge specifically. Do want to get around to doing a full run. Well, thanks for stopping by. Okay, let's try this again. Like, I understand that the stamina mechanic could be good for balancing Gourmand, but it just really bothers me that it's like such a flat cutoff. Like, the moment you do a little bit too much, suddenly you're exhausted for like several seconds. There's nothing you can do about it. Okay, so they decided to just go down and grab one. I would like it a lot more if it was gradual. If you could the moment you dropped between below 50% stamina, you would slow down a little bit and it'd become noticeable that you're drained a bit. And that would be your cutoff to okay, stop moving around so much, but you can still walk, you can still jump, and you'll be fine, you can recover. And then once you drop below 10% stamina, that's when you go into the state where you're actually exhausted, the same state as it is now. But you would just know that from 50% to 10%, you can still move around, you can still do stuff, you just need to slow down a little bit so that you would have time to recover. It's just so annoying that the moment you do one extra jump or walk for a little bit too long, suddenly you're fully exhausted and you have to sit still for 4 seconds to recover. Anyway, I'm gonna do a full attempt, but I need to decide on which order to do these challenges in. I think actually this one's a good one to start with, the scavengers. This one was super easy. And this one's good because it just takes such a long time. So if you mess it up at the end, you lose a lot of time. This one I think I can do later because it's consistent. This one I feel like I also want to do early because I've been messing up a lot. So airstrike. 10, 13, 12, 8. No. 13, 10, 9. Or, yeah, 10, 13, 9, 12, 8, 11, 14. Can I memorize that order? Ten, 13, 9, 12, 8, 11, 14. Another thing that's a little bit annoying about Gourmand is that it's pretty much the same exact world, which means that if it's the first Downpour character that you're playing, there's really nothing new for you, unless you go to like Gutter or Pipe Yard. Like, it's pretty much the same until you get over to Outer Expanse. And considering how slow Gourmand is, and if you're preoccupied with the food quest, or if you, and the fact that you just have to go to Pebbles first anyway, which could mean that you go to Outer Expanse but you're locked off by the gate, so you have to go back to Pebbles. It means that you're usually spending like a few hours just doing the same thing that you've done before if you played Rainworld before, except you're slower. And you get to Outer Expanse and it gets a lot better, and the story, I think it's kind of worth it, but a lot of people's first experience with Downpour is playing in the same world that they've played in every single other time as a slower and a more annoying character. Since you're not like used to the stamina mechanics, you're not going to be as good at fighting and actually taking advantage of what makes Gourmand unique. Anyway, let's get started. 10, 13, 9, 10, 13, 9, 12, 8, 11, 14. That's going to be the order. I could actually put that in my splits to memorize this easier. See what I was trying to do there, sort of. Okay, that actually worked out really well. First attempt. Right, I'm on this side. I don't like these vulture positions. Oh great, I hit both of them. I need to get those spears back. Okay, I got one of them. I threw it again. Excuse me, I'd like the spears back. I don't know where it is. I just want to hit the popcorn plant right away, so I don't have to worry about missing with the other spears. That didn't work out. Maybe I should start with this challenge. Maybe I was just lucky on the other time that I tried it. But it's unfortunate the vultures start right here. And now they just happen to be distracted. this bubble fruit getting in the way. These are stupid vultures. Didn't know how to sit still. The slightly more green one is the one with the spear in it. Why'd I pick up this bubble fruit? Or bubble weed? Bubble something. On both sides. This vulture just grabbed onto the other vulture. Okay, 4 more. That's not ideal. I have to grab onto one of these jetfish, honestly. That's why. I think that could potentially make that challenge better is if I just kill some of the jetfish with a spear. I don't know if that'd be any easier than getting the popcorn plant, but maybe it's worth trying. Yeah, I think Gourmand kind of tells you that like Downpour is going to be more gimmicky, more gamey. That's how I kind of say it. Because Space Rain will try really hard to make it feel like you're not playing a video game and that you're actually in some kind of realistic ecosystem. And then Gourmand is like, hey, you have crafting, and you have you can create random items, and you have all these like crazy abilities. Did I really just die? Not happy with that, but I guess I'll keep going for now. It's annoying how the bubble fruits spread out, so it's hard to oh, I missed one of those. It's hard to pick them up quickly. I could have just carried those with me. I didn't need to throw it. Or let's just fall down and die. Okay, let's do 13, or let's do this one for 13 first. Honestly, if I could get them stuck in this corner, I could kill them for points. Although not Gourmand. Fake Gourmand. Does no damage at all. Maybe Gourmand is just where everything goes after being dissolved in the void fluid. I need another spear now. I think the vulture has it. Well, no. I mean, explosive spear is already kind of one-shot everything, but the real special thing is with a fire spear, which unfortunately you can't make. I mean, it'd be overpowered, but you can't ever make use of it in an actual game. You have vulture strats. But Gourmand with a fire spear is very, very powerful. It does 9 damage. 9 times the damage that Survivor does, and you can't actually end up just one-shotting everything. Okay. I think it's good to start with this challenge. This might take a lot of attempts. But also, I'm kind of interested in the idea of just trying to kill a vulture. There's not really good space to do it, and I guess if you go underwater. And that's if the other, like, it's also very easy to just drop the spears into the water, and then you just lose them forever. I also would have liked to explore Outer Expanse as a character that has better mobility. Maybe that's just me. The other vulture grabbed me. I don't know. I mean, there's still opportunity. Whoa, got launched there. There's still opportunity for change. I mean, I think the devs are more focused on porting the game to consoles. That's their priority right now. But it's totally possible for them to come back and, you know, make some changes to characters that are less popular or, you know, aren't as enjoyable to play. It'd be great for expanding the life of the game, because people aren't going to be replaying characters that are annoying. You know, everyone's going to play most of the characters at least once, right? But if a character's annoying, is just like annoying to play repeatedly, then no one's going to want to do speedruns or challenges of that with that character. If you look on speedrun.com, Spearmaster and oh, come on. Spearmaster and Gourmand have like a single run each and that are like super unoptimized because no one wants to actually do those categories, while like Saint and Rivulet and Artificer actually have a decent amount of like pretty good speedruns. So people actually just enjoy playing those characters a lot more. That was awful. Maybe I did get really lucky on my first attempt. Wow. I mean, I'm not really using a good strategy, just kind of run at them and throw spears, but I don't know, maybe I do have to use the popcorn. Okay, I've dealt a decent amount of damage. But now I don't have the popcorn plant, so I need to kill them now. Or just like throw the spear again. As long as the spear is in their body, then I can always just approach them and spam grab and throw and it will work out. But if they're stunned enough, if they take enough damage, then they'll just fall into the water and it'll make it very easy. Where's the spear? Are they despawning the spear by going off screen? Is that really what's happening? I don't see the spear anywhere. Goodbye. Okay, actually, I think that makes the strategy significantly more difficult. The moment they fly away, the spear just goes away. I think the Saints campaign is probably the closest to what you guys are talking about for like an expansion of the game that like fits the theme, except for the fact that except for the Saints Ascension ability and oh, I almost could grab the spear again. The Saints Ascension ability and Rubicon I feel like kind of mess everything up. But everything before that is like wonderful and kind of fits with Rain World already. Oh, there's an albino. This is what happened last time, where it was super easy to just... And I got the spear back. And that's definitely what Downpour does best. It's like what you can see most often in the Saints campaign. The way the world changes over time, the way it expands on the story of the iterators. Or it kind of just like puts a, give them like a conclusion. Let's just throw it immediately into a wall. Boss rush arena hell at the end. I think Rubicon's fine if it was just not so big and not so I don't know how I would change that. The thing is that the Saints Ascension ability was in the original mod, so I guess the developer really liked it and wanted it to stay. But when I got to Rubicon, I thought it was like a final like cutscene area. Like, oh, this is the last stop before the end. We're going to like kind of like a lot very similar to the depths, where it's just like an area that you get through pretty quickly, and then that's it. But then it kept going and it kept going and it kept going. So, oh wow. And I don't like the branching paths because you can end up accidentally going down one of the paths and taking a huge detour that just... Maybe maybe I should, they grabbed each other again. Maybe I should not go outside immediately. I'll let the vultures aggro on the jetfish and then go. Because the fact that I go out immediately means that the vultures are immediately aggroing. They're pretty much focusing on me the whole time. I'll try that out. And even I like depths for a first time playthrough, but I really don't like it for speedruns. It's just a huge hassle to go through the depths every time. It's really hard to have optimal movement. And time is slowed down, and then swimming through the void sea. Luckily, you don't have to do that for speedruns, but that was only recently a changed rule. You used to have to swim through the whole void sea, so that was a real hassle. So I don't like really long endings for the sake of speedrunning. I think for the sake of like a casual playthrough, they're totally fine. I think it was a good choice to do this challenge first. They really aren't interested in the jetfish at all. Oh wow, from below. This challenge is really good practice for anyone who wants to get better at avoiding vultures. I'm just gonna grab a jetfish because that seemed to work out last time. Or not, maybe if the vultures get distracted. I can just get through here really quickly. Now I need to do all the other challenges. Airstrike. I'm kind of focusing now, so I'm not gonna be paying attention to chat. I will try to read all of your messages eventually. Wow! They got launched up and acted as a shield. Debating if I should use the Ultra Grub. Oh, is that it? Where's the other one? Oh, they're still alive. See that roll? Monk really is Gourmand in disguise. Or, like, past Gourmand. Even though they take place after, don't think about it. Everyone's favorite challenge. I don't really remember this challenge being that hard. I mean, it isn't that hard, actually. If you take your time, there's way more fruit than you actually need, so... If you're just patient, it's reasonable, but I'm trying to go quickly. I'm actually going to move these so that I don't have to spend too much time grabbing them. I missed. Do you want to grab them? Oh, am I running out of fruit? I don't have enough. Oh, come on. I let them eat too much. That's the problem with this strategy, is that they either start eating them too early, and I run out of all the bubble fruit by the end. That's not ideal. Okay, guess that worked out. It would help if I didn't throw one away immediately. If the kelp tries to eat the fruit, I'm just gonna drop down. Doesn't seem like they want to. Oh, they're thinking about it. Oh, kind of slow. Oh. Okay. I said 11 next. It's been a while since I've done these challenges. Oh, I hope the blues doesn't keep going up. Okay, they're approaching from the other side. Nope, no they're not. No. Get the lizard. Okay, this isn't going according to plan. Get the lizard. Oh, great. There's a lizard up there that is significantly... Oh, now they're going too high up. I have to stay close so that the... I can get... Well, I feel like if the blue lizard's all the way up there, I won't be able to save them. This is a very sloppy run, but I feel like that's how these are going to be for a while, unless I really want to grind them out. So I want the blue lizard to stay right here and not run away. So this is good. There we go. I said 8 next. So the difficulty of this one depends on where the... Eat that? That was wonderful. That went a lot better than the practice runs. Then I'm going to do the dark one. Shaded bank. I'm going to need a lamp to come down here. I don't know where that white lizard went. Eat that. Whoa! Okay, what is happening? Oh, that counted. Don't want to fast pull climb because I don't know what I'm doing. I like how whatever it doesn't really matter what I'm streaming. The chat always ends up becoming just a discussion about downpour in general. Okay, nice to grab that early. Oops, did not want to do it like that. Yeah, I wouldn't mind if the egg bug decided to stay there, but hope I can go up and grab that noodle fly right now. That's not what I meant. Stay stunned. Thank you. I need to drop down to do that. And I almost ate all the jellyfish. Hopefully I didn't miss something up here. Nope. I did. I'll fall down. I just need to get this egg bug and the hazer, but I'll get that at the end. Nope, don't go in there. I didn't miss anything. I don't see anything. Can't eat a rock. Okay. Okay, that was a full run. I feel like Monk is definitely more difficult than Survivor, at least the challenges. Mostly because of this one. And these two. These first three are pretty hard, and then the taming ones aren't that bad. And they become significantly more consistent after a while. But the taming ones are kind of RNG. Like this one should have been a lot faster. Like maybe if you just mess it up, just restart immediately, because doing it from the very start is fairly consistent. Anyway, I'm gonna read some of your chat messages that I missed. You guys really like to talk a lot. kind of a funny idea. Like after getting the Outer Expanse endings with Survivor and Monk, it just skips forward a few hundred cycles, and it's like, well, like now what? Maybe one of them dies and doesn't come back for whatever reason, or because of the timeline theory. It's like, well, now I'm just here alone. But they don't really feel like endings, right? Because they don't end. Like the Void Sea was like a very for a game where you like respawning is one of the main mechanics and most important parts of the lore. You know, it makes sense that ascending would be the end of the game, but then you can just do other things and it counts as an ending too. But I think Downpour kind of approaches. Downpour doesn't really like the ancients. A lot of the base game is kind of agreeing with the ancients' philosophy of like being stuck in a cycle being a bad thing and trying to end it, you know. And because we are put in the perspective of the ancients, that seems like the obvious answer and like what you should do. So ascending makes sense as the ending in that sense. And I guess it depends on who you ask, but some people think that the game is unfair to make it feel like you want to ascend. Like, man, this game really it was really unfair and it was really trying to like make it a not enjoyable experience. So you, like the ancients, want to ascend to escape, you know. But also I think the game could be fun. So it kind of depends. But Downpour doesn't like the ancients. Downpour is like, well, you know, what if what if you didn't want to ascend, you know? What if there's like alternative? And you know, the Outer Expanse endings are pretty much that. As well as, I mean, most of the endings are like that. They end with some sort of positive note, like the Spearmaster and Rivulet returning to the Iterators, or what else? Oh, not okay. Artificer is not really a good ending. Nothing about Artificer is a good ending. It's really hard to find people who criticize Downpour. I love Downpour. There's a reason I've been streaming it for as long as I have. There's a lot to do, and I just enjoy the gameplay too, so I can do speedruns and stuff. But I think there's definitely a version of Rain World that could have existed that would have fit the base game a lot better. I think the fact that Downpour wanted to add like 5 new playable characters, it kind of immediately strayed away from that. Cause I think, you know, the multiple characters approach could work out, but I think there could only be like just like 3 characters would be enough, right? 1 character to explore the past timelines, so Spearmaster. 1 character to explore the near future, like Rivulet, and then Saint, right? So past, future, far future. And that means cutting out Gourmand and Artificer, I guess, but I feel like, you know, you could mix them around a bit. I think I would have preferred if Artificer replaced Spearmaster. Because Spearmaster still has really tough spawns, you know, there's red creatures all over the place and Garbage Wastes is really rough. But Artificer's movement abilities would be really useful in Precipice, and pretty much everything related to Moon, because it'd make the exterior areas a lot easier with the double jump, and it would make 0G areas a lot easier because you can use your double jump in 0G to move around. So, you know, and you wouldn't have to deal with as many scavengers, you know, maybe that just wouldn't be a part of their campaigns, so. I think Spearmaster's campaign as Artificer would be a lot of fun. I think Saint is fitting. So that would leave Rivulet probably. And I think Rivulet is fine, as long as maybe the route was changed a little bit. But, you know, being able to explore a post-collapse moon as an underwater slugcat, that makes sense, too. But the fact that Downpour wanted to add a lot of new characters, it kind of like gave a feeling of like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's very gamey. It's like, look at all these new playable characters with these fancy, crazy, wacky abilities. Whereas base game, like Monk and Survivor are pretty much just the same thing, but they're just slightly different difficulties. And Hunter is slightly stronger Survivor with that's kind of like the hard challenge mode. And then the Downpour characters kind of go all over the place with their abilities. The different campaigns also mean that there's less areas that each individual slugcat can explore. So, you know, Artificer's the only character that can explore Metropolis, and Rivulet is pretty much the only character that can explore Subvert Superstructure. Gourmand is pretty much the only character that can explore Outer Expanse. And one of my favorite parts about Base Rain World is just how big the world is. It's in the name of the game, world. Well, crazy. But it's so big that it feels like you're part of this like huge place that's way bigger than the slugcat. And, you know, I think Downpour, just by adding a bunch of regions, could improve that. But a lot of the regions are still just exclusive to a specific slugcat, and if you don't like playing that slugcat, then you don't get to explore that region. And I think that, you know, mandatory iterator lore dumps. I don't remember where I heard this, but I think that each campaign was kind of designed around making the iterators an important like plot piece. So like, they wanted to make the journey to the iterators feel unique every time, because they're kind of like the one place where there's some sort of guidance. Probably inspired by the way the base game works, you know. You don't really know what you're doing until you get to Pebbles, and then he tells you what to do, and so you go do that. But then that's the same exact thing that you do in every campaign except for Saint. And Saint does it pretty smart by just giving you the goal of like, hey, get max karma, but like kind of subtly by showing you the symbol, and it's like, okay, I guess that's what I'm gonna do. And that leads you to the echoes instead of the iterators, right? And they don't really give you any guidance, but they say some interesting things. But I think a lot of regions could be condensed into like a single character, like Metropolis. If Spearmaster replaced, or Artificer replaced Spearmaster, then you could explore Moon, you could explore Outer Expanse, why not? You could explore Metropolis. Artificer is capable of moving in all those areas. And then for I think there's enough changes in the future for the new characters to feel unique, because Rivulet has similar superstructure that would be unique to them, because I think that still works because Saint can explore it too. And then Pebbles and like the exterior is like a completely different condition. And then Saint, of course, Saint changes a ton of things too. Pebbles feels out of character. I feel like that's just kind of what happens once someone else starts writing for a character. You know, we've gotten used to the way Pebbles acts in base game, and then someone else had to keep writing for them. I heard that the original developers did have some sort of input on the dialogue, although I'm not sure of that. Anyway, I think that's a good place to end it. The developers went to Downpour completely blind. Wow. I do wonder if they had any plans for updates or DLC. Like if the developers were to make the DLC instead, like how different would it be? But yeah, I think this is gonna be the end of the stream. I don't know how to feel about these challenges. I think I'm probably going to optimize these, the survivors challenges, but I'm probably going to have to do each of these individually to get a feel for them. Though I remember now that hunters, a lot of these challenges are just to get a bunch of points. A bunch of creatures spawn and you just have to kill them. So I don't know how these would feel because they're very RNG. When it's a question mark like this, it just means that the random creatures are going to spawn. I feel like challenges are only going to get harder from here. I don't know, maybe I'll look at these challenges and see if there's any other that I might be interested in running. Because, oh man, these ones are actually really rough too. I don't know, maybe I'll do Survivor only. Yeah, we can hope that they go and, you know, make some changes to the less popular characters to, because I think there is value in making the game more replayable, encouraging like challenges and speedruns. Not like these kind of challenges, but you know, like the Discord challenges. Stuff like that is great for the game in the long run. I don't know how much they would change things, but you know, we can hope. But yeah, now is actually the end of the stream. Thanks for watching. Thanks for chatting. It's interesting to hear what you all think of Downpour. It doesn't matter what we're doing. We're just gonna be talking about Downpour. Oh yeah, I think that the blah blah blah. All right. See ya.